What is up, everybody? Noble Comics here, and today I want to talk about the 5 most overrated characters in all of DC Comics. And whenever I say overrated, I mean that they are overhyped, the fan base around them has made them unjustifiably popular, or when it comes to actual debates and power scaling, they are way off in determining how powerful these people are. Or it could be a combination of both. It's probably a combination. But with all that said, let's get into it. The 5 most overrated characters in DC Comics. Starting with number 5, Cyborg. Now, Cyborg is a cool character, I'll give him that. He's a, of course, staple Teen Titans character. We all grew up watching the animated Teen Titans TV show, and he's of course great there. But for some reason, he's been popping up everywhere else. How is this one random Teen Titans character been reworked to be a founding member of the Justice League and all this stuff, a staple member of the animated DC Universe series, and again, just kind of shoehorned into mainstream DC Comics, from the comics to the animated stuff, to the games, to the movies? For some reason, Cyborg is now everywhere. Why is he here? He's obviously not that popular, right? He's definitely not leading Justice League member popular among people. Nobody really cares about Cyborg. And the whole attempt to make him interesting with like integrating with the mother boxes and stuff related to Darkseid and Apocalypse, to me, that's a total miss. That's totally not interesting, not cool. You're just reworking the character at that point from what he originally was. And again, I'm still left wondering, why is he here? Is it like a diversity thing? I honestly think it might be just trying to get like whoever the most popular black superhero is onto the like retconned original Justice League members. I could totally see that if that's the case. I'm not sure, but what I am sure of is that DC is pushing him heavily onto audiences. And look, I get it. I understand the role he is supposed to fill as being like the smart character, the tech-based super genius, supercomputer type character. Lots of teams have somebody like that. That's not a bad thing, but it does still seem like he's being forced into places he doesn't belong, right? He's a Teen Titans character. Why is he palling around with the Justice League all of a sudden? Like, they could have just as easily pulled somebody like Mr. Terrific from the Justice Society or something like that to fill that role, but they're really heavy on Cyborg for some reason. So honestly, I don't think the fans are actually overrating him. I think DC Comics is the one who is overrating this character and forcing him into everything where he doesn't really belong because nobody asked for him. Moving on to number 4, we have the Joker. And now look, I get it. The most iconic villain in all of comics. Probably the best Batman villain. I get it. He's great. He has some of the best comics out there are around the Joker. I understand that he is popular. I understand why he's popular, why people love him. But I think we've had enough of the Joker, at least for a little while, right? I think the way his character has evolved has been for the worse. I don't think the movies have helped his character any. It's helped expose him to the common person who doesn't read comics, isn't interested in comics. And I think that's been like a blessing and a curse. But the way his character has evolved, I think, has been not great overall. And another problem associated with that is the fact that now, like, every Batman story inevitably leads to the Joker, because every writer now wants to tell their Batman Joker story, right? Everybody wants to do that. And a good example of this is the James Tynion, the 4th Batman series, when he first took over, where we were building up to this new, cool, unique villain and a unique plot and storyline, and then it was just like a bait and switch, pull the rug out from under you. It's another Joker storyline. Now, what a letdown. I remember reading that and being so let down that we're not getting to explore a new villain. We're just going back to the Joker for another Batman Joker story. And again, he has shifted from the evil clown mob boss who under the surface, right, is just this psychopath murderer genius, right? But now he's like going into like a nigh immortal character. I swear he's died like 15 times in the past 10 years. So he's like this nigh immortal genius, and the whole like Batman and the Joker need each other. They can't exist without the, like, that whole thing has festered and grown to where that's now like the majority opinion about the character. And that is so stupid. Again, I get why he's popular. Batman and the Joker are a great hero-villain dynamic. It's awesome. But the push they've made of trying to make him so much more exaggerated and complex, from just his character and his narrative, his overall like skill and power level, all that stuff that's been pushed for the Joker, I think has just been a mistake. I think it's taken away from what made the character so great and likable. You could argue in much the same way that has happened with Batman and his character over the years, but I really think we've had enough. And like I said, the movies have not helped either, and that is why Joker is the 4th most overrated DC Comics character. Moving on to number 3, we have Superman. Now, a lot of people may have thought that Superman would be number 1. He's not. He's number 3. He's right in the middle. Superman is the OG superhero. He's great. He's probably the greatest hero out there. I love Superman, but he is doing a little bit too much these days. His current power level is extremely high, right? Like, it's way higher than it has consistently been. I think it's way higher than it should be. Power scalers obviously love that about him, but I am not a huge fan. I think the character has become too powerful and too complicated. It's too focused on being a Kryptonian and like a 5th dimensional whatever, and just being like the powerful guy that DC Comics pulls out every now and again when they need something cool to happen in one of their events. Because that's kind of what the character seems like now, and that's not what I would call peak Superman by any means. I think he really works best when you cut all the crap and all the complexity and all the bullcrap, and you just give a good, grounded Superman story where he's the boy from Kansas who's doing the right thing, and he's just this good person who's there to help you whenever you need help. Because that's what works best. That's what people like. They don't like... Because when you try and make Superman complicated, he gets boring. Because the stuff you like about him is now overshadowed by some weird, convoluted plot, right? And then again, you add in on top of that the fact that he's now like more powerful than he's ever been, other than probably the Silver Age, but he's still extremely powerful. To the point that now he's just overrated, plain and simple. Number 2, we're going to have Batman. And again, you're probably surprised that Batman's not number 1. Now, we all know that Batman's overrated. I'll make this statement. Batman is the most overrated hero in comics. Period. Full stop. And again, I get it. He's super smart. He's peak physical human. He's got billions of dollars. All that's great. He's a crime fighter. But somehow we've moved from that premise where this guy has created a suit and he's fighting crime in like the gritty, dark Gotham City to like this god-slaying solo the Justice League. I just need 5 minutes of prep time and I can take down Darkseid type of thing, where his character's obviously drifted so far from where he started to where he is now. And like Scott Snyder's run, I think, had a lot to do with that. He's one of these characters, again, like the Joker. He's gotten far too complicated, far too powerful, far too hyped up, I guess. And I get it. He's a cool character. He's very popular. He's very cool. I get that. But he's gone from a street level character that does roll with the big dogs, right? So if you're on the same team as Superman, Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, obviously you have to be powerful and he has to be impressive. But the level that he is now and the discourse around the character now is insane, right? We know for DC Comics, he's the best selling, he's popular, he's cool, he's brutal. Everybody likes Batman. But the balance between like being a street level hero and killing Superman is not there. The fact that with prep time he can beat Galactus or whatever, you see those comic debate things online. That's insane. Obviously we need to tune back Batman as a character. And even just the whole Batman v Superman thing, the fact that people think Batman can win is insane against a serious Superman. I've made a video going through that in the past. But it is insane. He's obviously way overhyped, way overpowered, and way overrated in the mindset of many comic fans. Now I'm wondering, who could top Batman? Who could be number 1? Who could it possibly be? And I'll tell you as soon as we get through some of these honorable mentions. So, some honorable mention characters for most overrated DC character. I have Lobo here. I think Lobo is just sort of like a meme, funny, cool character that people like. Though he's often scaled up against somebody like Superman. And personally, I don't ever see the evidence that he could beat somebody like Superman. Like, I get that he's powerful, but I think it's just the fact that he's cool and popular that really put him in that arena. I don't think that he on his own needs to be that high up. Also, the Flash is an honorable mention. The Flash is very powerful. I think a lot of people treat him as if he's very powerful, but you see a lot of, Flash solos the entire Marvel universe, the Flash solos the Avengers, stuff like that, where I think people are overselling just how powerful super speed is. Now, I get it. He can do a lot with it, time travel and all that stuff. I get that he is very powerful, but I think they overrate him just a little bit. And finally, Wonder Woman, which I've made a whole video on. There's no reason Wonder Woman needs to be part of the DC Trinity. There's nothing about her that's cool, unique, or special or anything like that. Massively overrated and has been for years. Okay, all that's out of the way. Now it's what you've been waiting for. The number one most overrated DC Comics character ever has to be Harley Quinn. Now, where do I even start with a character like this? Harley Quinn was once this cool, unique character from the animated series that has become the most obnoxious and unavoidable character in DC Comics ever. And again, it's not just the comics, it's movies, TV, it's everything. Harley Quinn has captured the attention of an entire generation for some reason. I think a lot of it's probably women. We all seen the Halloween costumes, but it is more than just that. I mean, she is everywhere, right? Again, comics, animated series, movies, TV shows, everything. She is everywhere. And again, she's not funny. She's not interesting. She's a side character who's been absolutely forced on all of us. She works best as Joker's girlfriend, as a side character to the main character of the Joker. But I feel like there's probably some girl power stuff going on here, with her being liberated from her toxic relationship with the Joker. And she's a lesbian now. And she's not going to wear her normal costume, which was iconic and awesome. She's going to wear her slutty costume, which is now, again, super popular for some reason. Which, I mean, thanks Arkham games for that. The character nowadays feels like Tumblr fan fiction for the character of Harley Quinn that somehow has come to life and has gotten through all the editors and people are actually taking seriously. And DC has decided that we all need to participate in it, and it needs to be shoved everywhere that it possibly can, because for some reason, she's now popular. One of the most popular characters in all of DC Comics. But it's not just that. It's not just that she's forced everywhere. Kind of like a Deadpool thing where she's goofy and funny and da-da-da, but she's really just obnoxious and a side character. It's not just that by hype and general popularity she's overrated, but her actual powers and abilities and skills are massively overrated. Look back at the Heroes in Crisis event. Fuck Tom King, by the way.
So boo!
Tom King.
You suck. Fuck you.
Worst writer in comics working today. Where Tom King had Harley Quinn fight Superman and Wonder Woman and Batman to a standstill. And Superman was like, she's just as good as you are. And Batman couldn't accept that. It's what retarded world are we living in where we're acting like Harley Quinn is on the same level as Batman? But I feel like that's for the most part semi-accepted. I feel like she's been shown to be at least similar levels of skill and competency as Batman in multiple Batman runs since Tom King's run, including the James Tynion fourth run, which is absolutely ridiculous. And they're trying to make her this anti-hero type character, also redeemed after her terrible misogynistic Joker relationship. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. And if anything, it's just evidence that the comic book world has been lost to comic book fans. It's been handed over to the Tumblr fans and the Tumblr artists and all those people who disgust me. They all have control, and we are forever paying the price. But hey, that's just my opinion, no need to get serious about it. That's just my opinion. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think is the most overrated character in DC Comics? Did you like this list or not? Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.